today we got to play Bad Company. So we are playing gangsters and trying to, I guess, beat the cops before they come.
Well, you're trying to perform heists.
Run the cops.
Yeah.
I mean, we're trying to be rich. That's what we're trying to do. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because board games are amazing, and that's what we do here at Legends of Nirvana. Now, Robert, can you tell us a little bit more about Bad Company?
Sure. I think I can do that. So, Bad Company is a 2021 release, so a lot of people were waiting a while for this game to come out, and it finally has. It's a dice rolling kind of contract completion game. Plays 1 to 6, which is pretty nice. We don't get too many games anymore that can play up to 6. Plays in, it says 30 minutes per player, which I think I can believe that once you get it, kind of understand it. Rated is 7.4. The rank is 1,739. Designers are Kenneth Mindy, Christian Munson Osby. I apologize if I butchered that. Art by Guillermin Bone. Published by Aporta Games. Now, the MSRP, without any discounts, $54.99. Card House and Miniature Market both have it at the same price of $43.99, but it's out of stock at Miniature Market. So go to Card House if you want to buy this.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so now let's talk about the quality of components. You do have your own card, and it does come in purple, so right there.
It's a +1 for Miranda.
It's a +1 for me.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to open the doors on it, though.
It is. You do have chits, cardboard chits, lots of them. You have cardboard necklaces, sort of. You do have standard wooden dice. Those are pretty generic.
Little cards for your upgrades. They have a linen finish. That's good.
And mine are linen finish. They are still, I mean, they're okay.
Yeah, player mats.
And I like
player mats don't have a linen finish or anything on them.
But the boards do have a linen finish.
Yeah.
Minimally. So overall quality of components, I'll give it a 6 because there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed, like, on the dice because, first of all, the yellow on white with the lighting in our area anyway, it's hard to see the numbers across the table.
White on yellow.
Yeah, white on yellow.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard to see it, and the pips on the one of them is not centered, which really drives me crazy.
Which was the complaint when he started teaching me the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first things he mentioned. He was like,
wait a minute, this one's off center.
And it really is. It is kind of bad.
It is.
It is like the whole set.
It is really off center.
It is really off center. So yeah, what are you thinking?
I think a 6 is the right score. I think it'd have been nice if maybe they screen printed and maybe the cars would have been nice. The meeples maybe a little bit something, but it's just okay. It's functional, but it's nothing special.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. All right, so let's talk about theme. So the theme is Bad Company. So we are gangsters, and we are trying to complete different heists, gain some money, beat the police, trying to make sure we don't get caught, and overall make our gang the coolest gang of them all. So I love the old lady one. So the artwork is pretty... It's cartoonish.
It's very fun, though.
It's very fun, though, because... Well, and then all your upgrade cards, they have different faces. And so you can make your people different, and then they end up with very, very long torsos.
We got some really funny
6
ones
belts and whatever. No, but a lot of them are funny. A lot of them, like one is this pigeon in this guy's face.
Yeah, there's a Gandalf in there. There's all kinds
there's the Hand of Midas. There's the Hand of Midas.
Some of these are really clever.
Yeah, so some of them are pretty funny. I thought that was actually really cool. And you know, and the thing is though, yes, it's criminals, you know, but it's kid friendly because there's nothing like, the theme isn't, you know what I mean? It keeps it family friendly. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's also not an attacky game, which I was expecting.
No,
it to be.
Yeah, you think it would be with this kind of theme.
Yeah.
But it's not. So, I mean, so I thought it was pretty cool. Scoring wise, what are you guys thinking for theme?
I think this is like heavy on theme as far as the integration of the gameplay into it. I think the art is fantastic for a game like this,
and the aspect of the cop gives a little bit of attention because you would lose points, which kind of makes sense if you're behind the cop. That means you're probably caught.
But he never catches. It's like he just drives by you. It's like it's almost like he's trying to outrun you. And so it's like, okay, you're not going to pull me over.
He knows where you're going, so he's going to wait on you.
Does he sure know where I've been?
Well, I like to pretend that he's going after the person who's speeding the biggest. Like, you always just as long as you speed less than the guy in front of you.
I think he's the person who was speeding the biggest during the game.
Yeah, that's true. He jumped out ahead of us there for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but still, it's fine.
Yeah, I think I'm a 7.5. I like the artwork. I like the theme. Mechanic wise, it's kind of pasted on. It doesn't feel like a heist, but I'm a 7.5. I think it's fun.
I think the fact that every one of the upgrade cards are different, I think that's cool. Astronomical. Yeah. So I think I'm okay with a 7.5.
I was actually going to go like an 8.
What?
So I think it's a fun, entertaining game as far as the theme goes.
All right, so now let's move on to the actual rule book. Now,
not a whole lot to it.
Yeah, the rule book is 8 pages long. There's no cover. It goes straight into the contents.
He was able to teach us really quick.
Lots of pictures to show you the contents, which I like. The layout is really nice. I don't like the color choices, but that's his personal preference. Lots of yellows and oranges.
They have a lot of empty space, but they have really small fonts.
Yeah, the font is tiny.
They could have totally increased the font without increasing the page size. They
definitely could have. So the font is a problem.
Which sucks for my eyes. People.
Yeah, but the gameplay is very straightforward and easy to learn. There's a cheat sheet for the iconography, and then you also get cards, but they only give you 3 sets, so you have to share because there's up to 6 players. But they do give you 2 languages of them. When I first got the cards out, I thought we only had the wrong language because they were on top of the set, and when I pulled them out, they were all like in a different language, and I'm like, these are definitely not going to work. And then when you get to the very bottom, there was another set of them that was in English. So it worked for us. But yeah, I was surprised that they put 2 different languages at 2 different sides of the stack of cards. But the rulebook itself, I think, does a good job. It's broken out nicely. And it's got the end of game stuff on the back, which is really helpful for final scoring and how you play out the final round of the game. Your cheat sheets have everything you need for your iconography. So I think it was well done. Because I'm going to give it an 8, I think.
Okay.
All right, so let's now talk about gameplay. So it starts out the game where you have 2 heists that you are going to be actively working on at all times. So even when you complete one, you'll get one immediately. So there's not
you get to start with 3, then you choose 2 out of the 3.
Correct. Okay, so if I am going to be the first player, I'm going to end up rolling the 4 dice and the cop dice.
And you also get 2 money to start the game.
Yes. All right, so then I'm going to end up trying to pair these. Now, I can have a 7 or a 7 or a 6 and an 8, okay? So I've really jacked up my cards because whatever. Okay. So over here, I'm looking at it, and I, actually got an upgrade for a 7, plus I have my necklace on there. So I'm actually going to end up choosing the 6 and the 8. Now, because I'm the one that rolled, I get to use both pairs, okay? So I'm going to trigger my 6. Now, I've already upgraded this, and we'll talk about that here in a minute.
Typically, you would not have any upgrades to start the game.
Correct. So I would get 2 coins and a drive. So I'm going to move up. Now, because I'm ahead of the cop and I'm passing a icon on the road, I get that. So I automatically get a victory point.
Well, yeah, but we're at the end of the game. We didn't reset for the start of the game.
But still, but
there are other
things.
There's other stuff along the road that, again, you will...
As long as you're ahead of the cop, you get the item when you cross.
Now, I have also on this card the necklace. Now, you get necklaces when you have the most of the icon of the necklace. In this case, it's the diamonds. So, because I was able to trigger the 6, and I do have the diamond necklace on it, I get another victory point for triggering it. And then I moved up, and then I get 2 money. Yay, money!
And the money is cardboard in this game. We didn't really care for it again, so we used our poker chips.
Yeah. So, all right, so I got my 2 money. All right, and then I get the other one, which is the 8, and in this case, I only get a glove. Now, I'm going to take one of these green check marks and I'm going to put it over the glove for my heist. It's basically showing that I completed that portion of the heist, okay? Now, Randy, on the other hand, he also gets to play during my turn, so he's going to pick one of the sets that I had already made. So, Randy, are you going to choose the 6 or the 8?
Well, I've already wiped my board to reset for a starting game, so I'm at a significant disadvantage. So I can either get 2 money or a mask. And I don't have any events or heists, to try to go for in front of me because, again, ice reset so we can demonstrate from the beginning of the game. So I will choose 2 money.
And money is really important because it's going to help us with upgrades.
That's what lets you get upgrades. Also, if you roll on your turn and don't like the combination of dice, you can pay a coin to re-roll any number of the dice that you want. And you can do that as many times as you want to pay coins for.
You shouldn't have 4 money.
I would have got 2 money to start with.
Oh.
And then I would have got 2 money for taking the action.
Okay, well, thank you for my money. All right, now Rob over here, he also chooses between the 6 and the 8. However, he is going to end up choosing the 8, which gives him a glove, but he has nowhere to put the glove. So he's going to end up taking a marker and putting it over here. Now, he's very lucky because now he has 2 gloves that he hasn't used.
And it's real easy to play with Miranda because she just plays my game for me. So it's really nice.
Trying to...
I think it's the first time she's picked a token out of the thing for herself.
It's not true.
Or someone else, yeah.
Usually someone has to do it for her.
Usually, Randy, can you get me the token? Just
no,
go ahead and put it on the board.
It doesn't matter if they're right in front of her.
No, listen. This
is it my turn yet?
You're being mean to me tonight, guys. All right.
So something different. We complete. If you don't have any heist to put the card on, then you can put it on one of the sections of your board.
Yeah, if it meets the icon.
Yeah,
right.
if it needs it. And then when you complete it, then you get a special item. So in this case, I would get 2 money.
Yeah, so he would get 2 money for that particular
I'll
action.
give you 4 because you get 2 to start the game with as well.
Sweet.
But I don't get 4.
Nope. You got upgrades out the wazoo. You don't need it.
That's
now here's the thing. At the start of the game, like Randy mentioned, he doesn't have the upgrades. I'll take you all the way back since you don't feel like it. So at the end that everyone gets their actions, you can choose to upgrade. Now, I don't have enough money to upgrade because I need 5. And I only have 2, but Randy over here only needs
I need 3. So I have 3 money, thanks to careful planning. And now I can choose an upgrade. So I get 3 from the upgrade pile, and I get to choose which of the ones I want. They have numbers just like if you played Space Base. It's very similar to how Space Base works, except for you only have a limit of how many upgrades you can do of the game of 9. So I can choose to do a 3, a 6, or an 11, and I get the icon that's added on here to add to my board, but the lower the 3 and the 11 give you 2 victory points for at the end of the game because they're less likely to come up, whereas the 6 is more likely to come up. It is only worth 1 victory point. So he looks like a skeleton ninja. I kind of like that, so we'll go with that. We'll put it on the 6. So now I get, in addition to the 2 money, I'll get a glove every time the 6 comes up.
Okay, so not too shabby.
So and they look kind of cool because now you're extending their torsos.
Yeah, they get taller.
They get taller. So.
Yeah, I mean, my 10 had like multiple layers to him.
He was really tall.
Yeah. Over the course of several different rows. So as soon as I get done, then Randy will then roll, and we'll keep going on. But eventually, I'm going to end up covering all my heist tokens. So just to complete it.
Hope.
We all hope. I didn't very much. All right, so I'm going to turn all those tokens back in. I'm going to flip it over, and then I have more diamonds. Now, you're going to reevaluate every time. So, for example, I have enough diamonds now. So I have diamonds already, but I have 2, 4, 6. I have 6 diamonds. I still get to keep my thing. Now,
but Randy would have to get to 7.
Yeah.
Yes.
To take it.
So, but you want to do a count every time you complete a card to see if you qualify for any additional other necklaces. Because there were several times where it was like several rounds later. Like you should have gotten one several rounds earlier, but you weren't paying attention to make sure to get one of those.
But you get a victory point when you first get it.
Yes.
And then, as Miranda mentioned earlier, you get a victory point every time you roll the number
that you assigned it to.
Yeah, that you assigned it to.
And there's 4 different treasures that you can get. Gold bars, there's money bags, there's paintings, and there's the diamonds.
Yeah.
So you've got 4 different units and 4 different necklaces that correspond with them.
And the cool part is like if Randy steals the diamonds from Miranda, she doesn't lose a point, but Randy gets the point for taking the necklace.
You lose the
just
points
lose
at
the ability to roll.
Yeah, because at the end of the game, they're worth 2 for whoever has the necklace.
Well, right, but still, you don't lose it immediately. Like a lot of games, when you take something from somebody, they lose something.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel that attacky.
So, it doesn't feel attacky at all.
It just means you got more cards.
I just thought that was an interesting point.
Yeah, and I liked it too. I liked that quite a bit. Now, the other thing is the loot cards. Now, the loot cards you get if you're above the police when you go past them. Sometimes when you complete
Mm-hmm.
a heist, you get loot cards. Also, if you get 2 flashlights and you don't use that, you don't have a heist to use them with, you get a loot card. Now, the loot cards range from more icons to victory points to special abilities. So just depending on what you draw, and you just draw the top card. So you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
And that's one of the things I actually like when we'll talk about game at the end of gameplay. But that's something, because we compared it to Space Base, that distinguishes it quite a bit from Space Base, and I like that part of it. I like the loot.
Yeah, so there's quite a few things that distinguish it from Space Base quite a bit. Definitely the heist mechanism, definitely the board component, and the upgrades is a little bit different,
but it's similar.
They work the same. They're just you're limited. Whereas Space Base, you have an unlimited number that you can do as long as the score hasn't reached the final score.
Yeah, you're using their 2 dice, but you can use it any combination you want. Whereas with this, you're limited to the pair that they make.
The 2 pairs,
and you get to pick which one of those.
Yeah, they almost took like the elements of like a roll and write,
and
combined it with that. So it's you're limited on your choices, but I think it works in this game. Yeah,
like I actually really appreciate the heist because there's different icons that you're looking for, because in Space Base there's just 3 things like income, then the coins, and then the
and
victory points, right? Where this one is, you're actually trying to get different icons, so I think it makes it a little bit more complex, but I like, and then you also have trying to get the most of a different icon, so I think there's a little more strategy to it, and I thought that was a very different component, and I kind of like that different component.
Yeah, well, I like the heists also give you special abilities, or they
in-game
give you in-game scoring bonuses.
Or just victory points, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of balance that, and I thought they were actually pretty decently balanced. So I liked that a lot. What do you guys think about scoring?
I think we all disagree a little bit on whether we like this better than Space Base or Space Base better. Rob's a big Space Base fan.
I really am.
And I used to be. I actually like Space Base more as the base game.
And
once we started because the thing is, what was nice about Space Base is it was a good game for introducing to new players. It was a good way to get people inducted into learning how to use the roles in different ways. And in this, it does the same thing, but in Space Base, the add of Shy Pluto added in a whole bunch more iconography. Some of it was more confusing. It made it less accessible for that purpose of teaching new players, I think. And I think this, I guess you could take the cards out, but it was problematic to try to get and sift out which ones were the part of the expansion. This one, may become that too, as if they come out with expansions for it. But as of right now, this game is very accessible for new players. We taught 2 of our good friends here. One of them is definitely not an experienced player. The other one plays some more experienced games. And they picked up on it right away and liked it a lot. And I don't think, this one, I think there's more scoring potentials, ways to score, because like Space Base, you have a scoring track and that's it.
Yeah.
This one, you have different ways to score points, and I like that. I like that point salad type game. So it appeals to me more. That said, I can't remember what I gave Space Base, but I think it was pretty high before. But I think it's depreciated a bit over time for me. But this one, I'm probably going to give an 8.5 to, is where I think I'm at.
Okay. Well, I mean, I will say, so you obviously you would choose Space Base, like you think that one's better. Where I'm kind of actually, there are certain aspects I like of this better. Then there's certain aspects of Space Base, I think, just depending on my mood, which game I want to pull out. Because I think each has its purpose and place. But I do agree with you that the expansion kind of added some clunkiness to it, might be the word that I would use. But overall, scoring-wise, probably going to give this a 7.5. I liked it. It was a really good game. What about you, Rob?
So the reason why I like Space Base a little bit better is just because I like the combos that you can build up in Space Base. It feels more satisfying when you get those special dice rolls. And it felt really good. And I didn't get as much of that feel for this, but I did like this quite a bit. Overall score, I think I would give it a 7.5. I like it a lot. It's a solid game. I think I need a couple more plays to decide if I want to own it for my collection, But I really enjoyed it. I love the artwork. The artwork is really nice for me.
So. It's fun. I think it's a lot of fun. So I definitely think that this one has a lot of character, you know, and that's kind of where theme is. And definitely look it up. See if this kind of fits your thing. And if you like Space, I definitely think you should give this one a try.
For sure.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast, and hopefully you'll come hang out with us again. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.